A very good afternoon to you all, and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to Lunchtime News here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 9th day of January 2024. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, the Presidential Press Unit, PPU, wishes to inform the general public that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and also the Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda Armed Forces, General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will brief the nation on the progress of operations against the Allied Democratic Forces, terrorists and other security-related issues. The briefing is scheduled for Tuesday, January 9th, that is today, and it will be at 8 p.m. The President will deliver the address from his country home in Rwachitura, and it will be broadcast live on all radio and TV stations as well as online platforms. Now, the Ministry of Health has held the inaugural meeting for the implementation and operationalization of the first ever National Community Health Strategy in Moroto District, Karamoja Sub-Region, attended by technocrats from the Ministry of Health, district health officers, district chairpersons, religious leaders and health partners from the 9 districts of Karamoja. The strategy is to guide multiple players towards the delivery of quality integrated community health services that are all affordable, culturally accepted, scientifically appropriate and accessible by every household.
Of the National Community Strategy respects personalization and implementation of the strategy in Karamoja region.
The strategy is to guide multiple players towards the delivery of quality integrated community health services.
At improving access primary, promoting, curative, preventive and rehabilitative health care services through a multi-sectoral collaboration.
So we shall see that we have a package that is entering household, we have a package that is entering schools, we have a package that is going to be implemented by the committees, the HUMIDs, the LC1s, and the DTFs. We have a package that is entering prisons. We have a
that actually is contextualized to meet the needs of Karamojans here. We cannot go and copy and paste. So that's why when we are rolling it out, I encourage you that you try to pick those nitty-gritties of Karamoja so that they think that the strategy is successful.
The inaugural meeting on the implementation and operationalization of the first National Community Health Strategy was held in Moroto District, Karamoja Sub-Region, attended by technocrats from Ministry of Health, district health officers, religious leaders, RDCs, district chairpersons in Karamoja Sub-Region, among others. Moroto Regional Referral Hospital Director Dr. Stephen Pande commended the Ministry of Health of striving to improve health service delivery in Karamoja. Technocrats explains why the strategy is going to be implemented.
That we have, right now we have an increase in preventable diseases, which are like almost 75%. And because we've got an increase of preventable diseases, we have a strained health of facility, we have strained facilities that cannot sustain the number of patients flowing into the facility if we continue with the trend.
In addition to the national community strategy, we leverage the first deployment model, which is the pillar 3. Members were talking about it here.
It as a whole, I know there are maybe issues here and there, challenges, but I think this is an opportunity for us to showcase that the community health strategy is the way to go. As we all know, so many things, we have so many conditions, so many diseases.
Participants commended Ministry of Health for prioritizing Karamoja. The strategy is aimed at ensuring equitable access to health care.
I declare this exceptional meeting formally.
To Arua now, where electorates of Arua district have lauded their woman member of parliament, Lilian Paparu, for championing initiatives to alleviate poverty in the area. The woman MP, in her 2 years of leadership, has provided financial support to women SACCO groups as one of the ways to bring them together for government programs like the parish development model. Ms. Paparu was presenting the midterm accountability in which she spent 300 million shillings with 81 million to support women SACCOs in 2023.
We went through the manifesto against the activities that we've done. For me, I am accounting to my voters, and the link or the person who connects to my voters are my coordinators, and that's why we agreed. We have done a district level meeting, and we are going to do another review at a sub-county level. When we go to the sub-county, we shall be involving some of the village mobilizers so that they also know what we are doing. Then those ones will also spread the message. That's why the media was here, NRM leadership was here. So for me, I'm accounting to my voters. 2.5 years, I've not spent only 200 million. The figure which was summarized was only for 2023. And the 2023, 208 million is for other activities, but the women's SACCO, we've spent up to around 81 million. So for 2023 alone, we have spent actually close to 300 million.
She has done it. She has given very good accountability of her work, because the language, especially the language she's using, is not myself.
And it is very important for the people to realize the value of vote they have casted for you. So in Ivora, it is the first of its kind, according to me. Accountability used to be given to very few people, especially those who are close to the MP.
As politicians and mobilizers are sitting with the community, giving advice to community how they can come out of poverty, how people should get involved in government projects like PDM, what these are things we cherish. So I thank her so much for coming to assess her performance together with her agents, but also to see that actually they continue to involve themselves in community activities.
Now, government has launched the 2024 Data Privacy Campaign that's aimed at amplifying data privacy and comprehensive public awareness. The Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Dr. Chris Varyomusi, launched the campaign at Media Center here in Kampala with a call to all partners and the public to protect personal data and privacy. The 2024 Data Privacy Campaign will be marked on the 31st of January 2024 under the theme Stop, Think, Own Your Privacy.
We are talking about information or data about an individual. How do we keep it private? How do we protect someone once the information about that person is within us, you as journalists, us in the government, or whoever comes across this information? It's a fundamental right that you don't just expose somebody's information or data, especially when you are in a position of responsibility and you have access to this information. So this is what
campaign will culminate in us within Uganda commemorating the International Data Privacy Day. This day is celebrated annually on the 28th of January of every year, where we talk about issues to do with data privacy and protection and how it affects us as citizens of Uganda. As Uganda and the rest of the world increasingly recognize the crucial role of data protection and privacy, we are proud to re-emphasize our commitment to the global movement of safeguarding the privacy of personal data.
We celebrate and enjoy the many innovations that increasingly the world has brought forth. It is important to continuously highlight the need to safeguard personal data and respect privacy.
Now, the UN Women is set to hold a side event at the sidelines of the Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Munyonyo, aimed at leveraging resources from public and private sources to unlock investment opportunities for women-led businesses. This planned event, dubbed the Source of the Nile Women in Business Agribusiness Expo, is scheduled to run from the 14th to the 16th of January 2024.
Ourselves, within the government, UN Women and other stakeholders, we discussed about this before we decided to come up with the side events for women in agribusiness, because a lot of these women have been through quite a number of exhibitions, you know, one year after another. So what we say, we don't want to see business as usual. We want to see continuity. And that's why, number one, this Summit Expo for Women in Agribusiness is not only for 2022. This will be an annual event. What we want to achieve, we also want to make sure that we help women to network. As you know, there will be quite a number of stakeholders who will come to attend the NAM plus G77 plus China Summit. So we want to network women to like-minded women, but also to investors. So we want to make sure we nurture women, economic empowerment for women.
UBC Lunchtime News will now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
Ricky Rapper co-founded SafeBorder to make day-to-day commuting safer for everyone. He and his team have added a professional touch to an informal sector with the help of technology. From humble beginnings to the Forbes Africa 30 Under 30 list, Ricky brings a unique perspective to the boda business since he too started out as a rider. With SafeBorder scaling its operations, we know that this is just the beginning. Ricky, keep moving. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Download the SafeBorder app and together, let's support Ugandans like Ricky who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Have you packed Movit Harbour Jelly and Harbour Foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. Movit pack. It is a new improved Movit Harbour Jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a Movit Harbour Jelly.
Tell me, kids, the sense? Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Harbour Jelly and Harbour Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
Ah!
Juku. Yo. What? Check the shopping man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juku. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are,
but you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief, and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government, designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery. Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabote deal and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Amabara gange nibanyeta Tusime Elizabeth, chairperson Chaka Central Market Vendors Circle.
I want to express our gratitude to the government for providing us with Emyoga funds. As business women, we are dedicated to enhancing our living standards. We received 30 million as seed capital, benefiting 340 women, 170 men, 70 people with disabilities, and 110 youth.
Abasija 170 beneficiaries who have already benefited. Twine PWDs 70. Twine youth 110.
Our business range from poultry keeping to purchasing land and paying school fees, particularly for single mothers and even constructing homes. We are making significant progress.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now let's cross borders and go to Nigeria, where the Nigerian government says it is determined to not only end petrol imports, but also make the country a net exporter of petroleum products by the end of this year. It says its 2 other refineries will come back on stream by the last quarter of this year. Take a watch.
Owned refinery in Nigeria, comprising 2 units of a combined capacity of 210,000 barrels per day. The refinery was shut down in 2019 for the first phase of a $1.5 billion repair work project, which has now been completed with a test run of the facility.
The mechanical part is completed, and this is the beginning of, the completion of not just this Port Harcourt refinery, phase 1 and 2, but the one for Warri and then the one in Kaduna, so that we'll be able to benefit from this massive investment that the country has made.
The Nigerian government says it is determined to not only end petrol imports, but to also make the country a net exporter of petroleum products by the end of this year. It says its 2 other refineries will come back on stream by the last quarter of the year. In addition to all of this, the 650,000 barrels per day privately owned Dangote refinery has now been supplied with crude, and the first batch of petroleum products are due out of the refinery by the end of January.
When we are done with our own refineries and the Dangote refinery, very many other small initiatives that we are doing, small modular condensate refineries that we are building, if that happens, and we are very optimistic it will happen, you will see that this country will now be a net exporter. As a matter of fact, it will be a hub of export of petroleum products, not just to the West African sub-region, but to the rest of the world. This will happen. The flow of supply will change.
So far, the government is walking the talk. Things are gradually coming together, and the horizon looks bright.
Presently, there is no fuel being produced in Nigeria at all. So, the fact that whatever product that the refineries start to produce will back out the imported fuel, and that will have some positive impact on the Nigerian economy. And then in terms of availability, so all this will start to have some changes, positive changes in favor of Nigeria and Nigerian consumers.
The management of the Dangote refinery has said it will start with the production of diesel and aviation fuel and operate at about half its capacity before gradually ramping up production to its full capacity, as well as produce refined petrol. As for the Port Harcourt refinery, the government says the refinery will start with 60,000 barrels of crude per day before hitting its 210,000 capacity by the end of the year. Deji Bademasi, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.
To Somalia now, where the Ethiopian government is yet to issue an official response to Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud signing a law nullifying the Somaliland port deal. Officials, however, say the deal signed is purely an economic decision, insisting that this move does not breach the sovereignty of Somalia.
Response on the happening from Mogadishu from the Ethiopian government side, but we have heard, and I tried to speak to some officials here in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. They said that the Ethiopian government's idea, signing, and perhaps future implementation of the issue of port is not to harm any country, especially Somalia. Ethiopia still believes its relationship with Somalia is intact. Its soldiers have paid lots of sacrifices, according to them, in the fight against Al-Shabaab, and they want to continue cooperating with Somalia. The Ethiopia-Somalia relationship is not only diplomatic or military, it's also people-to-people relationship, according to officials here, and that needs to be strengthened. This signing between Somaliland and Ethiopia is also a sign of another cooperation between the two countries. There is no issue that we would like to follow in this regard and create another chaos in this region. So whatever the officials are saying, but we are not hearing any official response from Prime Minister Abiy's government, but some of these authorities believe that Ethiopia is not going to give any official answer to this, but it will continue implementing the spirit and the word of the signature that was signed between Ethiopia and Somaliland. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government reiterated even yesterday, saying that there is no reason why Ethiopia wants to breach the sovereignty of Somalia. This is purely an economic decision for Ethiopia and Somalia and Somaliland at the same time. This is a country of 110 million people, they said. As a country which has an ever-growing economy, the demands are high, the export-import business is also big. It cannot continue spending billions of dollars every year for port uses when there is a port that is not much used in this region. And they believe that if this is breaching Somalia's sovereignty, why did other countries, such as the UAE, for instance, have done it in 2016 and 2018, where Ethiopia also had a 19% stake in the port of Berbera, which is in Somaliland. That deal was signed, according to authorities, between Somaliland authorities and DP World, for example, a company based in the UAE, and it is still sticking and still working. Hundreds of millions of dollars were invested in that country through that deal, and it's still working for them. So Ethiopia is a neighboring country. The African Union also depicts that there needs to be a soft border. There needs to be economic integration in the region. There needs to be understanding between countries, cooperation, and under the AFCFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area, this is what is expected, and that's exactly what we are doing. If that was the case, they say, and this is according to the National Security Advisor, of the Prime Minister Redwan Hussein. He says that Ethiopia's army is still in Somalia, still wants to stand beside the people and government of Somalia. There is no intention of harming Somalia in peace, security, politics, or in the economic side. We should think of cooperation and will continue showing that strength from our side, they say.
Sports news now, and we'll be looking at the Africa Cup of Nations where that showpiece will be kicking off in Cote d'Ivoire on January the 13th, with Senegal starting their title defense against the Gambia in Group C. Senegal says they are ready to defend the title.
Crown after being drawn in Pool C, the so-called Group of Death. Gambia will be their first opposition before clashing with 5 times AFCON champions Cameroon. A tricky fixture against Guinea awaits them before ending their group phase campaign. The Lions of Teranga will then play a friendly against Niger before flying to Abidjan for the tournament, backed by their supporters.
Le Sénégal, à chaque compétition,
Senegal have always been one of the top teams at every tournament. I am optimistic that we will win the African Championship for the second time in a row. In Cote d'Ivoire, it is important not to put ourselves under unnecessary pressure.
I believe that Senegal have the ability to retain their title because of the harmonious way the team plays, their youth, their discipline and their experience. They also have an experienced coach. He is a regular at the Africa Cup of Nations. With a little more composure and concentration, this Senegal team has the potential to go a long way in this competition.
Coach Aliou Cisse's 27-man squad includes 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 8 midfielders and 7 forwards, led by Sadio Mane. Cisse has called up 10 new players to his squad in a bid to rejuvenate his squad while retaining 15 champions.
Sadio Mane leads our team, but we have other players who can also make a difference. We approach the AFCON with ambition, unafraid. Our priority is to defend our title as African champions. It is crucial that our players arrive in good conditions in Cote d'Ivoire. From there, we will calmly make our mark.
The Teranga Lions have advanced past the group stages in their last 3 continental competitions. Coach Aliou Cisse is putting his title on the line with just 8 of the first-team players who led Senegal to victory in Cameroon in 2022. Senegal is hoping to become only the 3rd team to retain their title, with Cameroon and Egypt being the only nations to have done so. Jane Keo, CGTN.
The 2023 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in Ivory Coast is highlighted by 6 unique stadiums, each with its own design characteristics and contributions to the country's economy. Take a watch.
Cote d'Ivoire is enthusiastically preparing for the 2023 African Cup of Nations. Across the country, 6 stadiums proudly stand ready to welcome the legends of African football. Let's explore these temples of sport where adrenaline and passion will burn brighter than ever. In the center of Abidjan, the economic capital of Cote d'Ivoire, stands the Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium. This historic stadium, with completely reinstalled and covered stands located in the heart of Plateau, captivates with its grandeur. With 29,000 seats and a hybrid lawn, it offers stunning views of the Ebrié Lagoon. North of Abidjan, in Ebimbe, extends on an area of over 40,000 hectares the Alassane Ouattara Olympic Stadium. With 60,000 seats, a natural lawn, and parking lot that can accommodate more than 10,000 vehicles, this stadium is one of the largest in West Africa. It will host the opening and the closing games of the AFCON 2023. In Yamoussoukro, the political capital of the country, lies the Charles Konan-Banny Stadium with a capacity of 20,000 seats. This pitch is equipped with hybrid lawn. Still in the center of Cote d'Ivoire is the mythical La Paix Stadium of Bouaké. Inaugurated for the first time in 1984, went under renovations for the 2023 African Cup of Nations. Its capacity has been increased from 25,000 to 40,000 seats with a roof for all the bleachers. On the southwest of Cote d'Ivoire, The seaside town of San Pedro is also preparing to host the competition. The city's new Olympic stadium, Laurent Pokou, built on over 16.5 hectares with 20,000 fully covered seats and a 2,000 space parking lot. Korogo, in the Poro region of northern Cote d'Ivoire, is the 5th city in the country to host the AFCON 2023. This city stadium, Amadou Bon Coulibaly, is built on an area of 20.17 hectares. It is equipped with 20,000 fully covered seats, a natural lawn and a 2,000 space parking lot.
And finally, Manchester United returned to winning ways to book their place in the FA Cup 4th round as goals in either half from Diogo Dalot and Bruno Fernandes secured a routine 2-0 success over League One Wigan Athletic at the DW Stadium. Having ended 2023 with defeat at Nottingham Forest, Dalot put United on the front foot with a sublime finish for his second goal of the season. And after Fernandes was fouled inside the box by Liam Shaw, he converted his own sport kick to ease any lingering nerves. And those are the highlights of that game. Manchester United, of course, coming once again to winning ways, and we do hope that they can make it in 2024.
Rashford. Now Dalot. Lovely precision finish into the far corner from Diogo Dalot. And Manchester United take the lead. When Rashford's shot was blocked away, the chance looked to have gone, but Dalot had other ideas. Lovely finish. Well, it came at Rasmus Højlund pretty quickly from the tickle deflection, but he could not adjust. Another Manchester United attack. There have been plenty of these. Just the one goal. Garnacho! Fabulous effort. Moving, dipping, but not quite enough. Kobbie Mainoo has had a strong evening in that central midfield for Manchester United. It's Mainoo again. Tickle able to save. Mainoo will have to wait for his first goal for Manchester United. On by Johnny Evans. Rashford. Two to aim for in the middle. And he's back to Bruno Fernandes. Shaw goes to ground. Penalty, says Anthony Taylor. Well, the contact from Shaw, enough in the mind of Anthony Taylor for a penalty. Fernandes to take, Fernandes to score, and Fernandes to surely put this cup tie to bed.
Manchester United back to winning ways there. And that story brings us to the end of lunchtime news this Tuesday, the 9th day of January 2024. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed afternoon and bon appetit.